If you think the market is dead, you're about to miss the most explosive altcoin rotation this year. And I would say even in the last 4 years. Bitcoin is trapping shorts, funding has flipped negative, and open interest is ramping hard. That's the classic setup for the short squeeze. And it's already happening, while most traders are freezed in fear. At the same time, altcoins like API3, ALCH, and Orca are pumping hard, printing chart patterns we only have seen last time in the alt season of 2021. But what if I told you that this is just the beginning? We have a major rotation, capital shifting into altcoins, AI play, things like Fartcoin and different categories in the crypto market right as we speak. I'm going to show you exactly which altcoins are running, why Bitcoin setup actually is bullish right now, and how you can position yourself before the next leg up truly begins. This is how smart money moves: fast, early, and quiet. Do me a favor, press the like button. Let's get into today's video. Bitcoin open interest is ramping up currently when the funding is actually flipping negative. It's quite bullish. Why? Because the market makers, they're essentially looking to hunt for this liquidity. They're looking to hunt for shorts at this stage. And we have insane amounts of liquidity, around $95,000 per one Bitcoin. The amount of liquidity that is located here is somewhere around $5 to $6 billion worth of shorts that should be liquidated once the Bitcoin price is actually here. And once it's going to be liquidated, we will push up like crazy. We will have a giant short squeeze. Everyone is screaming about Fartcoin on crypto Twitter, but no one seemed to recognize this coin, API3, that it actually is the top performer in the last couple of weeks. Since the absolute bottom that happened on the market on March 10th, it actually is up 180%, which is 2.8x. Fartcoin cannot say so. The current market cap of this project is around $180 million. And what's very interesting is that it's actually a boring default utility project. It provides oracles that pay you. Oracles are essentially the channels that are being used in blockchain development to gather real-world data and to execute smart contracts based on this real-world data that oracles essentially prove themselves. The largest provider of oracles is Chainlink at this stage, and most of your smart contracts and most of your decentralized applications, they're actually using Chainlink. This is something new, and this is something that is appreciating in price heavily right now. This is also an infrastructure play, which a lot of default investors, they actually quite like things like that, right? Because your Fartcoins, they're probably not going to be buying that, right? Some people are speculating that API3 can actually pump like Mavi, and someone who was able to catch Mavi pump, I would definitely say that there was probably something shady happening in that pump. And right now it's down 70-80%. I'm probably going to, I actually got stopped in one of my smaller longs. I'm still holding. It's pretty insane. Like, I probably should have just taken this $100,000 worth of profit and just loaned something else on the marketplace. Despite that, I decided to hold my Mavi loan. The utility project that is actually pumping like crazy is Zeta Chain. The utility of this thing is that it connects different blockchains, not even EVM based, not even like projects like Solana. It also connects blockchains that pretty much don't have the programmable infrastructure underneath them, like Dogecoin and Bitcoin. This is essentially the main utility of this chain. It's up 2.2x since the absolute bottoms of the 10th of March, right? Right now, it's actually heavily correcting as well. So we can definitely see that these are the short squeezes that happened. And most of these projects that have seen these crazy short squeezes, they are down quite heavily since the local tops. Obviously, we have 30% for Zeta, right? But the chart is so similar to the things that are actually happening on Mavi at this stage. It's pretty insane, to be honest. Just look at this thing, right? This is your pure example. It went down to $5 million. It pumped 7x's, almost 8x's right here. And then right now, it's actually eased down 72%. Absolutely insane. These are the classic examples of short squeezes. But the main question that we should probably be asking ourselves, are these just short squeezes, or are we actually at the point of the turn on the market, which means that we will continue the bullish price action moving further? I tend to think we are at the latter. If you want to get some targets for Zeta, some shorter term ones, next one should be the volume shelf and at the same time the retest of 618 fib level, which is $21.57 out there. So it's pretty much 50% from here. Next thing on the list is ALCH, and this thing just shows crazy price action. And I can tell you, market makers, they are harsh on this thing, because if you are following this channel, I was actually the one who was long in ALCH. I had multiple times where I had somewhere around low, like 5 figures of profits on this thing, like $10,000, $15,000. And this was happening in the absolute worst case market conditions, right? Because it essentially were at the end of February. And since then, what they were doing, they were essentially just consolidating in this range, constantly pushing the price slightly higher. So it reacted, they essentially got me out of the position that I had, despite the fact I think initially I was entering at 0.3, somewhere right here, right? So they got me out and I had a pretty nice leverage alone opened on this thing. And then they pushed this thing 3x. So proper professional work by the market makers out there. I would say the team of the project is pretty good. I'm not following the utility of the project much. I'm just seeing from the market point of view. They're doing the applications, they're doing all the necessary updates that are needed in order to catch the attention of the recovering market. And this is the main thing. Any altcoin that actually is trying to catch the attention of the recovering market, and at the same time you see the market makers of this altcoin actually pushing the chart up, probably have some plan in place. They probably know how to play on this market, because if you are the altcoin that is recovering the first, you're receiving most of the attention, you're receiving a lot of the liquidity right away in the recovering market, which is very beneficial. It pretty much just diminishes and decreases the cost that you have to spend on these things if you are in comparison later on in the cycle. Once it's breakout ALCH, some nice prediction that actually happened yesterday, and I think currently we're already at the breakout. We're already around this area. Right, so I do believe that if we would just compare the price action that was present on the exposit that I just shared, the author essentially is saying that we should go to somewhere here, somewhere into this range, right? So it's still like 20% movement from here. So if you're late on leverage, you might want to be playing it out. Most likely, once we are here, we might either get a rejection and like reconsolidation be below the range in another attempt to essentially breaking out right after. Next thing is Orca DEX. Like, guys, this is just the DEX on Solana, and we know that DEXs on Solana, they're probably not doing that well currently because Pump Fund actually launched their own DEX, Pump Swap, and that's why Radium kind of have been dumping. And this chart is just the perfect example of short squeeze out there. 100%. They just killed all the shorts that were present. And just imagine, if you actually shorten this thing from middle of December, right? You actually got stopped out, most likely, or liquidated in the worst case scenario, but probably stopped out in the recent pump, right? And what these people are usually doing, they're just re-entering the shorts right here, right? And they just continue to short down. So it's $1 billion question at this stage. Are we actually at the change of the market trend, or are we just seeing a range of short squeezes? Thus far, a lot of altcoins I'm showing, they're just short squeezes. Like, I'm not seeing Orca the continuation of very, very bullish price action, right? On the other hand, some projects that I showed you, they definitely printing proper native charts like API3, for example. I'm not seeing the short squeeze right there. Like, I'm seeing the proper movement of the proper altcoin that should be doing quite well. At least it holds the levels, right? If it's just a short squeeze, it will be just going here like Mime, right? And showing nothing essentially. Wormhole is actually experiencing the similar type of short squeeze, right? And it definitely holds levels better. The reason here is because this is the protocol that is actually being used. This is the bridge. A lot of people are using to bridge the funds from Ethereum to Solana, and they actually are generating revenue out there. So it's actually a working product. I would say it might even be undervalued. It had very, very interesting situation in the span of this lifespan, right? One time it got hacked for $400 million, and investors actually gave out $400 million more to pay up for this hack out there. We don't know what exactly happened there, but it definitely shows that most likely we are going to see certain type of the VC manipulation with this thing moving further into the cycle, right? So I would definitely look into this thing. It's not that high in comparison to the absolute bottoms thus far, just 27% So low leverage position exposure, I think, just might be built at this level. We are also at the absolute bottoms currently, and the chart essentially just follows the chart of each and every altcoin from this cycle, right? They just launch and they're just being infinitely dumped with the VC money, with the exchanges, with the market makers. It's insane. Market makers are buying out allocations from venture capitalists at a discount, and they're partnering up with exchanges to short and dump these things at the same time. Absolutely insane. But we are very close to the point where these projects are actually reaching their fair valuations, which means that this should be the time of opportunity. Everyone totally forgot what alt season actually means, because it happened, the last one happened 4 years ago, right? And in the alt season, the last alt season, Solana went from $1.40 to $250 in the span of 11 months. This is what alt season is. And this is something I think that actually awaits us. How can I actually miss Sonic? This chart is like the work of the pure artwork by the market maker. I actually love this chart very much. We can see that this low is above the previous low, which definitely shows to the whole market that the asset is strong, right? And this is the classic reversal that we essentially are seeing here. Like classic reversal pattern that actually was printed on this chart. Right now we are staying at this resistance, and the same thing we are kind of facing in the Ethereum and the overall market at this stage. Market right now at the time of me recording this video is at the crucial resistance point, because the pump already happened. A lot of people missed out because they were essentially staying in fear. A lot of people are taking profits because they were entering somewhere here, right, at the bottoms. And if someone was entering here at the bottoms, and like best traders, they definitely did that, they're up 45%. On average, these are nice amounts of money. Some of them, a portion of them, 100%, they are taking profits right here and they're flipping short. I can tell you that 100%, because they're essentially seeing that we are in the range, we are at the top of the range, and it's not clear if we will be breaking out right here. So usually longing the resistance is not something that you essentially do. Either wait for the confirmation and retest, right? Or you short. Most people, they just short the resistance in expectation that we might be going, if not to the bottom of the ranges, but at least to the middle of the ranges somewhere there, so they would be making money with the short price action. The ticker is Sonic. Every morning get out of bed, I check the TVL on Sonic and see it hitting a new all-time high. More liquidity inflow to farm points means Sonic paired with assets means lower Sonic circulating supply. No more venture capitalists unlocks, not much selling pressure until June. TA shows solid momentum, with volume spikes confirming the breakout massively bullish Sonic coin. So it's great to actually put your attention on metrics that are not lagging, which is price. Price is always a lagging metric, but leading metric. Leading metrics are essentially things that grow in advance, and price usually follows. TVL is one of them. Total value locked for a blockchain, 100%. If the TVL, if the total value locked on the chain is increasing, the price should follow sooner or later. And you can also say that vice versa. Look at Sui TVL and look at Sonic TVL. Look at Sui market cap and Sonic market cap. I report and you decide. Yeah, we can definitely see here a comparison that Bridge TVL on Sui is $1.2 billion, and on Sonic it's actually higher, right? And the market cap is way different. Like Sui market cap is a deca billions. Sonic market cap is several $1 billion at this stage. If things only were for TVL, right? Because at the same time we also have Blast with TVL only 2 times smaller than the TVL of Sonic, but market cap tens of X's lower, and no one cares. And something that's still in the whole show in the last several days, just the pump of Fartcoin. Crazy run up, if you would ask me, 120%, right? It's also something like a piece of alpha I actually wanted to share with you at this stage. Most of the coins out there, what are they doing currently? They're actually reaching the levels of March 3rd at this stage. A lot of them, they're essentially trying to reach this level, and a lot of them, they're finding the resistance at this level, right? So we are currently in this situation where a lot of coins, they're already here or already at this stage. Stronger coins, they're already higher. So if we would essentially check the Fartcoin connection to its price on March 3rd, we already can see that it's up 70% from there. But some coins, they're somewhere here, and speculation here, something that most likely should be happening is that they should be catching up to at least the levels of 3rd of March. And these are the coins that you, I think, should be longing at this stage. This is probably the closest thing to free money out there. Obviously, if they are not there already, probably signals the weakness of the asset out there, but don't bet against human greed. People that are up at certain projects, they will just take the profits and they will reposition in something that did not pump yet. They will reposition into something that did not reach the levels of sort of March. You can see this on each and every chart. If the coin you're looking at is lower than it was at the sort of March, I think it's a nice coin to loan at this stage. Stupid and simple. Simple and stupid. Every cycle, meme coins experienced extreme pullbacks after parabolic rallies, and people declared them dead, only for these meme coins to resurge and pull off a face melting rally out of nowhere, making their previous all-time highs look like a mere blip on the radar. This has happened literally every cycle since meme coins became a thing. It happened with Doge, it happened with SHIB. Even after these meme coins suffered a 99% correction, even complete dogshit meme coins that emerged last cycle and died with that cycle had 2 mega pumps. The initial explosive pump that many thought was mania, followed by 99% cool down. Many strong meme coins are here at this stage right now. And even more explosive rally that made the previous big rally look like a mere pre-pump. If you're holding solid meme coins with a super strong narrative and community, the current 90% plus correction is highly likely an opportunity to buy them for pennies on the dollar rather than a sign of their death. It actually nicely coincides with the thesis of Murad. Murad is constantly saying like, this is nothing. Bull market did not start yet. This is just a pre-pump. We're still in accumulation. I actually tend to agree on these things. I honestly tend to agree on these things. I tend to agree on the fact that we're definitely still in accumulation at this stage. Officially up 7 figures on my Fartcoin loan. Yet Fartcoin is still down 85% from all-time highs versus 92% when I got in around 2 weeks ago. Strong meme coins almost always survive deep drawdowns of this nature and bounce back hard. Fartcoin has one of the biggest mind shares of any new meme coins this cycle. If this bull run is not yet done, Fartcoin returning to all-time highs is not a matter of if, but when, in the opinion of the author, and we can see he was up $1 million at $0.4 the price. Right now it's 0.6. So soon he should be up close to $2 million. Fartcoin, first 4-hour close above the 200 EMA in 48 days. Definitely some signs of the reversal, and from this thing it actually pumped already, right? So it was 0.38, right now it's 0.6, so it did 50% since that post. So this is just some things I wanted to share on the Fartcoin, and the price action on this thing is pretty insane. Like it's like, I would say it's the main indicator of the market sentiment at this stage. And it's interesting how it survived the IMET out there. It's interesting how the price is being appreciated currently. It's probably one of these things that if we are not longing, and I'm not longing this thing, close into the cycle, when this thing will be like at 5, 7, 10 billion, you would look at it and think just, man, I could have just sell all of the portfolio that I had and just long this thing like with 3-4x leverage, like low leverage, and I will outperform and I would have to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. I do think that a lot of us, unfortunately, will have these type of thoughts once this thing is in billions. Right now it's not. Right now it's quite hard to imagine this thing in billions. That's why there is an upside there. Last but not least, AIXBT, which is the AI agent on Base. This one is pretty nice because Base pretty much has nothing except meme coins and virtuals, which are kind of dead at this stage. Virtuals was a product like a pump fund for the creation of AI agents. AIXBT is the only AI agent that is present, but over time, market kind of lost its interest to AIXBT, and I think that the issue that happened is that a lot of posts, you actually could buy them. I think this is something that happened. This is just something I've seen myself. So thus far, it seems like a short squeeze from my point of view, right? So the coin is up at this stage on the daily, I have to say, 36% and correcting since these highs. So pretty much all the late longers are getting liquidated, are getting wrecked at this stage. I would say it's kind of nice if you want to have some AI exposure into Base because it can become this proxy to AI agent exposure on Base because people might not care much about virtuals, and virtuals they already own Solana as well, right? And AIXBT will definitely just live on Base. Overall, I do think that market mostly sees this thing as a meme coin at this stage, and they are buying it just an asset, just as something they can trade. But the long-term potential of this thing, from my point of view, at best is questionable. This is it in terms of alts and Memecoin overview at this stage. We do have a lot of things that are pumping currently. I gave you a framework how you can be long in and spotting the things that did not pump and take advantage of the current situation that's happening on the market. I do expect bullish continuation of the price action with potential consolidation around these levels, because market-wise we're definitely around the resistance area along the range of assets out there. And people who are late, they're jumping in and they're getting wrecked, and they should be getting wrecked for, I do think, maybe a couple of days, several days. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the content, make sure to press the like button. It's very easy for you and helps the channel to grow as well. Stay healthy and rich, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.